Friends, welcome back to NT Academy YouTube channel. And as you know that we are discussing about the business statistics. So the topic for today is about skewness, and how we can find the skewness. So we'll today discuss in this lecture about the skewness. As we know that in the business statistics, we collect the data, and there are so many, there are a number of data is available. So in a given sample, for example, if the data is like equally distributed across both the sides, then we call it as a normal distribution. Normal distribution. But if the data is skewed, on any one side, either on the left hand side or on the right hand side, then we, for example, if the data is skewed on the left hand side, then we call it as a negatively skewed data. We call it as a negatively skewed. And if the data is skewed on the right hand side, it is skewed on the right hand side, for example, okay, skewed on the right hand side, a little bit more, then we call it a positively skewed. So we can have three scenarios. Either it's a normal distribution, or it is negatively skewed, or it may be positively skewed on the right hand side. So there is a Karl Pearson method through which we can calculate the value of the skewness, and how much your sample is skewed. So we will use the Karl Pearson coefficient of skewness, and we will start solving this. So let us see about the Karl Pearson coefficient of skewness. So I'll write the formula. Coefficient of skewness. So we can find that using two things. That first formula, that is SKP in the short form, that is using median. So if you use median to calculate, use the median of the sample to calculate the Karl Pearson coefficient of skewness. 3 multiplied by mean minus median divided by standard deviation, that is sigma. Okay. If you using mode, then you can have the formula as mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. So these are two methods using which you can solve, you can find the Karl Pearson coefficient of skewness of a given sample. So now we'll take one problem and we'll start solving. So let's take this problem, one problem. So I'll take the problem and we'll solve it. Let's say there is a observation, certain observations are given to you. For example, this is how. So let me first rub this to you. I can rub this so that I can write it over here. You can have the formula. You can have the observations. So there are certain observations that x value is here. The values are 5, 6, 9, 11, 12, 13 and 14. So these are the values which are given to you. Now you have to just use this value and find the Karl-Pearson coefficient of skewness. So as you all are aware that first of all what we will find out, we will take the summation of this, that is summation of x, that 5 plus 6 is 11, 9, 20, 21, 23, 26 and 4, 30. 0 here, 3 carry, 1 plus 2, 3, 4 plus 7. So 7 is this. And the value of n over here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So value of n is 7. Now therefore mean for this will be, that is x bar is equals to summation of x upon n, that is 70 upon 7. So what do we get? We get 10. So this is the mean of the sample. Now once we get a mean of the sample, we know we have to find the standard deviation, and we have just seen in the previous lecture how to find the standard deviation. So we'll find the d, that is x minus x bar. So 5 minus 10 is minus 5, 6 minus 10 is minus 4, 9 minus 10 is minus 1, 11 minus 10 is 1, 12 minus 10 is 2, 13 minus 10 is 3, 14 minus 10 is 4. Fine. So just take the square of this. So 25, 16, 1, 1, 4, 9 and 16. And just take summation of this. So what you get? X minus x bar the whole square. So 5 plus 6, 11, 12, 13, 17, 17, 26, 26 and this 32. 3 carry. 2 plus 1, 3 plus 4. 4 plus 2 is 7. So we know that to find the standard deviation, that is given by formula summation of x minus x bar the whole square divided by n. So we know summation of x minus x bar the whole square is how much? 72 divided by 7. So roughly we get about 10 point we get 10.29, and you can just now get the value square root. I know how you do, I hope you know that how to find this value. I do not want to just waste time on that. You can take log on both the sides, and then finally you will get the value, and then you take the anti-log and you get the value of 3.21. But that is not our subject right now. Fine. So you got the standard. So now we will find the median. So you know how to find the median value of median. That will take n plus 1 upon 2th position, 2th value will take. So you know that is 7 plus 1 upon 2 value. That comes about to be fourth value. So the fourth value in the observation is first, second, third, fourth. That is 11. So we get the median value as 11. So now we know that by using the mean, median and standard deviation we can find the Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. So that is SKP, that is 3 times mean minus median upon standard deviation. That is 3 into mean is how much? 10 minus 11 upon, that is 3.21. So that value we get as minus 3 upon 3.21. You can say minus 300 upon 321. The value comes about is minus 0.93. You can just calculate that. So the value is 0.93. So this is your Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness, that is using the median. So now we will also solve for the using the mode, how you can find the value of Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness using the mode. So let us solve another problem. So now we will find the Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness using the mode. Okay. So we have seen the samples value. Now we'll take some direct value given to you. So we'll take the value of n. Let's say example is given as 10. You have summation of x that is equal to 450. These all are from a particular sample. And mode value, you know, I have made a particular video on how to find the mode. And the summation of x square is equal to 24250. So these are the given values to you, and you have to find the coefficient of skewness of the Karl Pearson. So next, let us see that. First of all, you have to find the standard deviation. So standard deviation, that is sigma, will be is equals to summation of x square upon n minus. So let me find out first the value of x bar. So you know that x bar will be is equals to summation of x upon n, that is 450 upon 10. We have that as a 45. Now we'll substitute in this. Therefore the sigma will be is equals to, so we have been given the summation of x square, that is 24250, divide by n, that is 10, minus the 45 square. And therefore you can get the sigma is equals to 2425 minus the 45 square is 2025. So straightforward you can get that as a 400. And square root of 400 is how much? That is 20. So get the value of sigma, that is standard deviation, as 20. Now we have mode, we have mean, and we have standard deviation. Therefore, now the coefficient of Karl Pearson skewness is equals to mean minus mode upon your standard deviation. This is your mean, this is your mean. You have been given the mode now. Therefore, mean is how much? The mean value is 45 minus mode is how much given? That is 43, and standard deviation is 20. Therefore, 3 upon or 2 upon your 20. So 2 tens are, that is 1 upon 10, that is your 0.1. So your coefficient of skewness of Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness is 0.1 using the mode. So these are the values of a given samples we have just used, and we have just found the how you can find the value of coefficient of skewness of Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. So thank you for watching my video. Kindly do like my video and subscribe to my channel, and share among your social media groups and as well as among your friend groups, so that we can keep on making such informative and academic videos for you and your friends and your children. Thank you for watching. Thank you once again. Thank you.